I arrived blindfolded so as not to reveal my host's location. Outsiders call them the Yanomimi, the fierce people, and it is unknown whether this supposedly warlike nature or the fact that their new village hangs out suspended from the tallest trees was what allowed them to weather the crisis as well, if not better, than even the most industrialized nation. It is not clear whether Fernando Oliveira, the emaciated, drug-addicted white man from the edge of the world, is their guest, mascot, or prisoner.
If I record this.
Yes, that's fine.
So where do you want to start?
Start from the beginning.
Well, I assisted Dr. Silva with the surgery. He was a very precise heart surgeon, but nonetheless a very arrogant man, and it killed my ego to work with him. Under him. He treated me as if I was a first-year resident. But Herr Muller needed a new heart, and I needed a jacuzzi. But after the procedure was completed, Muller never came, he never awoke from it. So almost immediately after closing, he began to show symptoms. His temperature and his pulse began to increase, and this bothered Dr. Silva very much. He said it was just an after effect of the procedure, but I didn't know any better, saying that it was my first time doing a heart transplant. He told me to go home after I performed one of the most important procedures of my life without any congratulations. But when I was home, my phone vibrated, and when I picked it up, it was my receptionist, who said that Herr Muller had slipped into a coma. I then went on a 30-hour drive back to the hospital.
Rob, is that you? Whoa, slow down. What? Muller just slipped into a coma. Jeez. Yeah, I'll be over there right away. I'm on my way. Yeah, I'll be there in a sec. Okay. Bye.
Okay, well, I was still a doctor, and I was still making money. I was getting richer all the time.
And I was performing necessity for the people. I wasn't performing plastic surgery. I was actually helping out people, removing organs, helping them live. And the heart, which was really rare, arrived about an hour before the patient did.
Did you test it?
Well, we didn't really know about the walking plague at the time, and we didn't have enough time to test it for the normal diseases like HIV and AIDS.
Why didn't you test it?
Well, the flight had taken so long, and you can't leave an organ on ice for too long. It'll just go bad after a while.
You know, the thought of Muller getting up and buying Silva amused me. I thought it was pretty laughable, you know.
But I didn't notice the blood stains on Rob's uniform and blood coming from under the door, so I proceeded to go out to my car and get my gun, just for a safety precaution for the other workers.
Carried a gun?
Yes, I did. I lived in Rio, and it was a necessary safety precaution. But I knocked on the door several times. I called Muller's and Silva's name, and I heard no response. So I proceeded to open the door, and I saw Muller hunched over Silva, and it kind of looked like he was biting at him, clawing at him. And I don't know how I got his attention, but I did. And Muller got up and faced me, and I noticed that he had been eating away at Silva's body.
What did you do?
Well, I aimed for his heart and I shot the gun, and it wasn't really ready for the recoil, so instead of hitting him in his new heart, I ended up blowing his head clean off his shoulder.
And were you arrested?
Are you crazy? The police were the reason I was able to get the organs into the town in the first place. You know, like, I had bribed them, and they helped to explain that Muller and Silva were part of a attack on the hospital by a homicidal maniac, something like that.
And what happened to Silva?
I just hope his body was buried really deep into the ground so that he would never come back.
And what about Mr. Mueller?
Well, there wasn't any explanation, not to his wife or the Austrian Embassy. They did explain that it was a car accident that he had died in, but I'm pretty sure Frau Mueller would never believe that. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't realize how lucky she really is.
Why was she so lucky?
Well, imagine if the body would have gone back to Austria in her home and reanimated there. You know, it would have been a lot worse.
Would you like a piece of gum?
No.
Okay. Should you sell it?
Back to him. What about the donor?
Well, the donor doesn't have to be fully reanimated. If he's just recently infected, the organ would still be infected.
And what about the man removing the organ?
Well, he might not have known what he's dealing with. It was really early on in the stages of the infection, so he might not have known.
Did you ever try to warn people about this disease ever, like when it broke out? Or did you just...
No, I was trying to recover from the scandal, rebuild my reputation, my client base, and my bank account. I wanted to forget about the incident, but by the time I realized the danger, it was scratching at my front door.